Hello, here to make a video showing off my new CZ75D. Not so new. I've had this gun for about 3 years, but did some work on it recently. Wanted to be able to talk about it, but let's start off with the obvious question is that's not a 75D sitting on the table. Right now, you guys are looking at my CZ-P10C and then my CZ-SP01 Shadow. And the reason that those are sitting on the screen is that about 2 years ago, I took my CZ-P10C and I had it optics milled by Primary Machine. But if you notice, there's no optic on it because I took it off to put it on something else. I have a Trigicon SRO that's currently getting ready to go back to the factory because it has a defect where the battery terminal post, the little gold sprockets basically broke off, and so that thing no longer works. So I had to switch it to another gun. So P10C, my first gun that I put a red dot on, had some custom work done. All right, so then we've got my SP01 Shadow that I've got a couple videos that you guys have probably seen before, where I've had it milled as well by Primary Machine. Sent it off, had the Trigicon plate put on along with the Hollow Sun red dot sight, and had it Cerakoted in that burnt bronze, which is awesome. Love that gun. Made it single action. It's pretty sweet. It's my go-to right now. It sits on my bed rest waiting in case I need it at night. Anyway, those two guns kind of got me started in red dots on pistols, so that's where this video really starts. And that's why I wanted to put those on there and then build up a little suspense for seeing this 75D because it is sweet looking. So that's where we started. With no further ado, I'll show you guys my CZ75 PCR. And here it is. So if you notice, it's not just the standard 75D anymore. It does have a red dot on there, but for those crazy folks that really are concerned, magazine, safety check, nothing. Okay, we got that out of the way. So here we go. I've got the CZ75D compact known as the PCR. Decided a few months ago that I wanted to modify this one. Now, I can't really tell you why I decided to modify the PCR versus a P01 because I have a couple of those I could have sent off and modified as well. But I chose to do the PCR for a couple reasons. First off, this thing, I may carry it one day, I may not, but with that single action trigger and I carry appendix, it's just one of those things that I'm not quite sure I want to commit to yet. I'd feel completely safe with it. The firearm is fantastic. It's great. Safety works, so I'm not so concerned about that. However, it's just one of those things that do I want to carry a heavy steel-framed single action gun? For about the same weight, I could carry this guy. Not as comfortably, but it can be done. Then I have a P01 Omega that's got the Cajun Gunworks kit in it, and it does really well as a carry gun, but I didn't want to modify that one because eventually I want to do some more work to this to make that trigger even smoother and nicer than what that Omega could ever be. So we chose this one, and as the years have gone on, this has grown on me quite a bit. I used to not be a huge fan of the PCR. I actually have a good friend of mine who has a PCR, and I got to shoot it, and that was the first CZ pistol that I'd ever shot, and I was not super impressed. At the time, I had a bunch of Sig Sauer pistols and some 1911s, and the PCR wasn't doing it for me. However, fast forward, the P01, I really liked the frame of that. It was really nice. I like having that rail. It just looked very balanced. The PCR to me just looked a little back heavy. Not that at the time that I was looking at those pistols, did I have enough skill to even worry about it, but alas, I chose to buy a PCR because I couldn't find a P01, and then I bought two P01s within a year later. So I have those, but I really liked, after seeing online, different slide serrations that some companies have been doing, and so I chose to go ahead and modify this one. Shout out to Impact Machine. I did send this out during the Black Friday, or I'm sorry, their 1 year anniversary sale. So I got the optics milling for a discount, and decided I had seen some of the new optic plates that they were using, so I could retain the backup sights with still using that 503, or I'm sorry, the 507C Hollow Sun sight. And I liked that versus using the 507K, the smaller one. I just like the bigger field of view. My eyes are only going to get worse as I get older. So went ahead and chose to do that, and then said, why not? If I'm going to send this in, and I'm going to send it to a reputable guy that can do all this work, let me just go ahead and do so. So chose to go with the slide serrations on the front and the back. They turned out great. Really like them. Had it just Cerakoted in black just to match again what that factory finish looks like, and then had that red dot put on. It's nice. It's a super sweet gun. If you notice, it has been converted. I am left-handed, so I do run with it with the mag release on the opposite side. The cool thing about this, and one of the reasons I decided to go with doing the PCR versus the P01, which let's go ahead and just show. Oh, that was terrible. Go ahead and flame me for that. Oh man, this is hard to do on camera. Here we go. There's one. No mag. We're gonna go ahead and just do some switcheroos here. And look at that. It works just the same. And voila, I could still put it on the P01. So it still looks good, still has some advantages. I really like the slide serrations, how they are not vertical on the back. Another reason I didn't have the P01 slide modified. I liked that diagonal cut that matches the front. Figured that would be a good host to do both of the cuts on the front and rear versus just a lot of companies do only this front section. Looks really nice, and now I've tested this. It does work. I can shoot. In case anybody was ever concerned, I did look for a lot of videos saying whether it could be done. I figured it could, but I confirmed myself. So that's what that looks like with a P01 frame PCR slide. I know guys carry like that, but I wanted to put some video out there that actually shows it. So, and I haven't switched that magazine release to the other side yet. But anyway, that's really all I had for you. I just wanted to be able to show off what that looks like. So go ahead and have my fun. Let's go ahead and butcher this up again and get that switch back over. I really like the way that this looked with doing everything in all black on this gun. I did question whether I wanted to use the black, go with a bronze again, or just do some other color. But we stuck with this. Whoop. There we go. And I really like it. I'm glad I did it. It almost gives a staccato look to it with those bigger slide serrations. I really like it. So we'll see if I stick with these grips. These are actually gun grips that you can buy off of Amazon rather than the lock grips. I do have multiple sets of lock grips and I really like those, so I'll probably upgrade them. I know that after shooting for a while with these regular grip screws in there, these start to back out and loosen. So the lock grips I've had a lot of good luck with on all my other pistols, so I'll probably upgrade them to the same thing for these in the future, unless I can figure out a different color I'd like to go to. But that's all I have. If you have any suggestions on different grip color, different grip texture, what do you guys use? But anyway, thanks for hanging with me. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the content that you see. There will be more videos in the future. It's been a while. We moved recently and have been working on the house, so videos have been slow, but they should start coming back. Thank you. Have a good day.